I'd like to, if I may, concentrate on one book today. Two editions of this book. First one is this cover, after which I did another edition reflecting perhaps more the content of the book in a more dramatic way, because it's about an arms manufacturer with the nasty name of Himmler, no relation to Heinrich Himmler, the controller of the death camps, of Hitler's death camps, by the way. But Himmler, as you probably know, is as common a name in Germany as Smith is in the UK. So this gentleman is no apparent relation to the Heinrich Himmler, but he controls, he's a nice man, good man, despite the fact that he controls a big company which was called the Krupp company, a very famous company which you probably know has armed Germany since, God knows where, in the 16th century probably, taken over by Tyson in 68, I think. Now, my hero in this book, Karl Himmler, takes over the company again, so makes it the biggest and most important arms manufacturer in the world. And with a little bit of poet's license or writer's license, he manufactures, in my book, nuclear armaments as well, nuclear weapons as well. So it's a very important company. Now, when he's in London, he lives actually in London, this man. He's a very civilized man, educated, charming, a young man, still in his late 30s, and he meets a Jewish lady, very attractive woman, in Morton's in Berkeley Square, which is a club I used to go to occasionally and play the grand piano in there and eat beautiful food. It was an old house converted into a nightclub, famous nightclub in Berkeley Square. It probably is still there, operating as a business. I hope so. It's got a big disco upstairs. Anyway, these two characters meet. She is Jewish, he is German. I love the dichotomy between the German and Jew. They click sexually, mentally, spiritually, every way. And of course they have a lovely time sexually, and then they marry within the year. They have two lovely kids, a boy and a girl, and everything's going swimmingly with his business. Until about 12, 13 years into the marriage, Middle Eastern naughty men, businessmen, try to infiltrate his company. And why bother with making nuclear armaments and having the other nations looking over you and stopping you, as has happened with Iran, when you can buy the company? So they're pretty insidious, very intelligent men, and they try to infiltrate the company by the back door through Karl's company, and while he's away getting orders for his business and so on, two of his directors try to do deals with these wicked men. Handsome backhanders, all the rest of it. Anyway, cut a long story short, MI6 get involved in this, and they put a sleeper in Karl's company and find out about these two characters who are fellow directors but are naughty men and have to be got rid of in various whatever way is suitable, shall we say. Meanwhile, the secret services come up with a plan to have this mock funeral of Karl, and they find a convenient body somewhere in the morgue, and they feed the papers with the story that this industrialist has been murdered, and he's put on a nuclear submarine, hence the cover of this book here, To Mama with Love. until the heat is off. The funeral takes place, and she goes along with it. The acting of the two kids, who are highly intelligent youngsters, in on the plot, as it were, and they're excited by it and swear not to say anything they don't to their school friends and so on. It's all very interesting. And during the course of writing this book, I suffered not cramp, writer's cramp, but an impasse, shall we say, of how do I go next? How do I resolve this plot? Even the great Agatha Christie apparently had difficulties sometimes with her plots, and she would have this impasse, and I don't know what she would do, have a drink or something, or hold a dinner or whatever, to unblock this impasse, and then it comes to you. And this, what happened to me with this book, it all suddenly came to how it was going to resolve, and which was a nice thing for any writer to undergo. So I managed to complete that book. I hope you enjoy it. It's my attempt at being serious, which is difficult for me because I do like falling about. And as you probably know from my other books, humour is not far from the page. Something we need. There is humour in this via the kids, of course, in the book, and that's nice. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy reading this. I advise you to buy this one if you're into purchasing books rather than this one. Cleaned up the grammar a little bit in this one, shortened the end. I think it's a tighter, more tightly written book, and I've dedicated to a relative of mine who works for certain organisations. She doesn't want people to know too much about that, but this is her favourite book. And a retired MI6 friend of mine actually gave me a few pointers of how things are done without divulging any secrets. He would never do that, and I can assure anyone watching this video that that is not so. He would never do that, but just pointers of how things are done that happen in the world. And you know what happens with helicopters and so on, and transporting, and the debriefing of subjects, such as Carl in this case. But I hope you enjoy reading this, ladies and gentlemen. To Mama with Love. It's written officially in the book by the eldest son, and he uses my name rather than his own name at a party in his mother's honour. During the end, near the end of the book, there's a sort of horror bit, but that's a twist in the story. I don't want to tell you about that. But she survives everything. Wonderful woman, much appreciated by her loving husband, and he retires from business. Eventually, he has so much money anyway. It's arranged that he has the money, so he can retire from this company manufacturing armaments and have a trouble-free, stress-free life, which is rather nice to have. I hope I have something similar.